Hi everyone, it's Terry here, and today I've got a process video for Lottie Loves Paper, and this week I'm guest designing for their Snowflake challenge over in their Facebook group, Lottie Loves Paper Community. So this is what I'm planning to use. I've got the Simple Stories Feeling Frosty collection, I've got some coordinating distress inks, my pearlescent watercolours, and then this cut file from Pear Tree Cut Files. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to use my pearlescent watercolours to add pink and purple snowflakes to this cut file. So I'm going to leave the frames white but just paint those snowflakes that you can see there. So with these watercolours I do add a couple of coats. I'm not being super careful, I'm just painting over them. And then once I've done that, I'll put this to one side to dry, and then for this layout I'm going to create a mixed media background using those distress inks that I pulled out earlier. Apologies for the hoarse voice, but I'm full of cold at the moment. So once I've done that, I'm going to move on to my background. So I've pulled out these 5 different distress inks that pair with the collection. So I'm just working out roughly where I want to add my background. So I've got iced spruce, I think it's sponge sugar, peaked raspberry, milled lavender, and then that bottom one is evergreen bough, I think. So I'm just using my blending brushes to add some colour to the background for this. I'm not being super careful, I'm not worrying if I create like obvious marks, because a lot of it's going to be covered up. I just keep checking with that cut file that I'm not going to cover all of the background up that I make, so I want to make sure that some of it will stick out from underneath, because I have spent hours making a beautiful background to then stick a cut file over the top and not see any of it. So you'll see that I'm focusing on building up the edges of the coloured area first, and then I will just add a bit more to the centre. So like I said, I'm not worrying too much if they're a bit patchy. I don't use much of that iced spruce because it is a bit grey, but it just pulls the colours in a little bit. I think the evergreen bough is probably one of my favourite colours. So I'm just spritzing some water over it, and that'll take off some of that colour, some of that distress, and leave some little spots of lighter colour. And now I'm using this stencil from Echo Park just to add some snowflakes of the same colour onto that background, because this is a snowflake challenge after all, so I wanted to make sure there was as many snowflakes as possible. So I'm using different colours with the different sized and patterned snowflakes on the stencil overlapping as I go. Again, focusing mainly on the outer areas of pattern, of colour, sorry, so that when I put that cut file over the top, I'm not covering up everything I've just done. Some of the snowflakes are more subtle with the lighter colours, you can't see them quite as much. So I'm just going to add another spritz of water just to kind of blend them in a little bit. And finally I pull out my watercolours that I've used on the cut file just to add some splats of that kind of pearlescent colour to tie in what I've done in the background with what's going to sit on top. And that's my background done, so my cut file is now dry and I can put the photos that I've chosen behind the cut file. So I've got these 3 photos from a snowy walk when we were in Scotland last week, well, the week before. So I've cut them to size, and the way I do that is I use the insert from the middle frame that's a full square, and I just literally worked out where I needed to cut them. So I'm just distressing the edge of my white cardstock, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick that onto a frame of patterned paper from the Simple Stories Feeling Frosty collection. It's kind of a wood grain effect, and I've already used the middle on another layout, so I've just got this frame left, and I quite like how it just kind of pulls in the browns and the wooded aspect of the photos. So I've stuck that cut file on top with foam pads just to lift it off the background, and now I'm going through my ephemera. I've got the chipboard pieces from the chipboard stickers, from this collection, and also the 12x12 sticker sheet. So I'm going to be focusing on them mainly for my embellishment of this layout. And I thought this title with the Hello Snow was ideal because this was the kind of first time that we'd been out in the snow when we got to Aviemore, and unfortunately it warmed up and a lot of the snow melted, so there wasn't a huge amount around when we left. So I've just added that sweater weather sticker to the top, and I'm going to pull in these pear tree pieces, and they're some beautiful glitter acrylic snowflakes in a kind of tealy, greeny coloured glitter acrylic. So I thought they were really good for pulling in those blue colours from the background. And then I'm just going through and adding some smaller snowflakes from the chipboard sheet and the stickers. And I feel like the frames are a little bit plain, so that one on the right hand side where it's got our feet in the snow, I'm just going to add some of the word stickers. Just a couple of phrases. So we've got walking in a winter wonderland, and then I think I add a blue coloured one as well. Yeah, so it says snowflakes and smiles, there we go. So I'm just going through and seeing if there's anything else I want to add at this point, and there's this cute little bird that is on the sticker sheet that I want to add, and I decided to add it at the bottom of that little frame just to add a bit more decor and balance it out. And to finish off, I just added journaling underneath the title. Thank you for joining me on YouTube today, and don't forget to check out the Snowflake Challenge over in the Lottie Loves Paper Facebook group. Bye for now.